All right. So, I usually bring the Reddit stories.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one, I had never heard of this before. It's on Reddit Confessions. I cuddle with strangers and regularly attend cuddle parties.
Is this Reddit Seattle, perhaps? Where these cuddle parties are happening. I think I've heard of cuddle parties, but go on.
Yeah.
Okay. So they say they have to confess something that many people might find strange or even unsettling. I regularly cuddle with strangers and attend cuddle parties. And yes, I do this deliberately and enjoy it to the fullest.
Well, who would do this undeliberately?
Right.
Like, I just so happen to find myself at a cuddle party.
Oops.
How do I keep
I
getting
didn't
into these
mean to.
situations?
How did I get here? So they've got a few different paragraphs going here. Each one is like a different question that people have asked them about this. So how did I get into this? Honestly, it started from a deep need for closeness, right?
Yeah,
Which that makes sense.
I have thoughts immediately.
They thought cuddling was something reserved for romantic relationships, but at some point realized that they could experience physical closeness outside of a romantic partnership. A few years ago, they came across the concept of cuddle parties, and they were skeptical. Meeting strangers just to cuddle with them sounds weird, but after learning more about it, they realized it was exactly what they'd been looking for. Next thing was, how does a cuddle party work?
Yeah, I want to know.
Yeah, what's the rules? Because
How many do you need? 1, 2, but that's 3 brothers.
No.
That's gross.
see, let me take this away real quick.
So usually there's an introduction where all participants learn to set their own boundaries and respect those of others. No one has to do anything they're uncomfortable with. After that, there are various exercises to get familiar with touch, like holding hands or leaning on each other. Finally, the actual cuddling part begins.
Okay.
And that's where people can relax together in different constellations, they say. Next thing is, isn't that awkward or inappropriate?
It is if I'm not holstered up, because it's gonna happen.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'm instantly thinking of Nexus song "Too Close" because I'm like,
Right?
I can control myself,
Feeling
but
little
he,
bump
yeah.
coming through.
yeah, he's gonna be like, what we doing? We touching? He's not gonna know the difference between this is just for this act. And this act is not going anywhere else. You know what I mean?
Well, I think so. One, I don't know if this is going to come up, but we are a touch-starved society. People don't get touched enough. That's a thing. Look it up.
No, it really is a thing. Humans need it,
Yeah.
and these
And
have
so,
disconnected us a lot.
yeah, and so if you think about it, back in the days of old, like way back when we were just like all huddled up in a cave, everybody basically slept
Huddled
in a big old
together, yeah.
fucking pile because that's how you kept warm. You didn't have fire. We didn't know fire was. So to have warmth, everybody's with each other, not sleeping off some solo place. You didn't have blankets.
Okay, that's
You don't know how to pull a leaf over yourself yet.
That's fair.
So yeah, I think it's evolutionarily, we don't have enough touch.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
might come back as a thing.
But at the same time, going to your point about getting boners, that might come out when you're setting the boundaries. Like,
Right.
I'm okay with the boner coming through. I get it. It happens.
That's the thing. If I'm holstering
And that's me
up,
saying it.
I gotta come holstered. I'm not going to the bathroom and wrapping it in duct tape or anything beforehand. I gotta know what I'm going into. So, but again, you should know.
what
You're
you meant
tucking
by
that. He's tucking it.
I gotta tuck it, or I gotta wear like tight underwear or something like that. I gotta keep it from it being disrespectful.
really stiff jeans.
Sure.
hold it down.
Especially, you're going to wrap your arms around
I'm not
something that
cuddling in
feels really
jeans.
good.
If I'm going to a cuddle party, I still want to
He's
be
doing it like he goes to the strip club.
You're gonna
in
wear the gray.
spandex.
You're gonna wear the gray sweatpants.
I'm in sweats. You can't be in her, sir. Like, oh.
All right.
So to that question that isn't that awkward or inappropriate, they said initially they thought it would be hard to connect with strangers in such an intimate way, but it's not about romance or sexuality. It's about warmth, trust, and feeling accepted. And surprisingly, it works really well. Many people are amazed at how natural and comforting it feels. Next question. How do others react?
Who others? Okay, go on.
The reactions in my social circle are mixed. Some find it interesting and understand why I do it. Others, however, are confused or dismissive. Some even think it's weird or desperate. But at this point, I don't care. Every time I leave a cuddle session, I feel relaxed, happy, and emotionally balanced. It has even helped me become more relaxed and less stressed in my daily life.
I can believe that.
I think that's like part of cuddling after having sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's all sorts of hormones, endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, all that's rushing through. And when you're cuddling, that's what happens. Yeah. So, and
Can you? Oh, sorry.
No.
I know there's a lot more, but could you guys do it like with a stranger? Like I can do it if I'm blindfolded.
so
Like
yeah.
how do you like? Is it like?
So,
Like you're picking teams, do you walk
so
in
you got
and be
this
like-
something's just kind of nestling up in there, like,
Oh.
oh, that's some nice cakes. This is a girl. And they're like, how you doing?
Well, that's like, I'm not from that world. How do you partner up? Like, is there like you having a few drinks where you're talking? Is it like a social event?
I bet there's. I would say it's probably alcohol free because that's when
Yeah.
Oh,
I would
it's true.
think it's
Okay.
things start getting a little bit loose.
But how do you get
Yeah.
loose? I'm pre.
Because she already said they have
I'm
a whole.
pre-funky.
They have a whole pregame.
Yeah.
Okay,
the
okay.
They have a whole orientation,
where they.
and they do things to learn
Learn.
touch and.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were
Okay.
listening.
I didn't know
Holding
that was
hands
something
and-
that's like a one-time
You're
thing.
pulling the cakes right now.
I know.
You're not listening.
Okay.
Sorry, cakes.
Okay.
Okay. So then the next question is, are there downsides? Of course. There are challenges.
Okay.
Sometimes there are people you don't quite connect with.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
That's how, I think maybe before we ask
I
our own
jumped again.
question,
I
let's-
jumped again.
Yeah. Might not connect with, or you might not be in the right mood on a given day. I feel like I'm not going to show up at a cuddle party if
Right.
I'm not in
If
the
I'm
right
not in the
mood.
mood, I'm not going.
Occasionally, someone might overstep boundaries,
They didn't
But-
holster up. See?
but there are clear rules and moderators to ensure that everything remains respectful.
There's refs? That means there's someone walking around like while you're cuddling. Like,
It's got like a little. It's got a yellow yardstick, and he's like, gotta have a little bit of
It
space
reminds me,
between the.
it's like the dances in middle school. You know what I mean? Like, spread it out.
So it's like, don't. Okay. You don't have when you're spooning. You don't gotta be full spoon. Just like when you're hugging a dude, your butt out, right? Your butt out.
Like, but maybe spooning isn't even allowed because it's
Feels like the natural
ass to
position.
balls, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
It is.
When you're spooning, your ass is against their balls. Am I wrong?
But
Why is it so low?
I guess, okay, balls is the wrong word. Sorry, that's the term we used to use in the military when they make us line up hella close.
Oh, okay. No, I get it. I just had a visual, and I'm just like, how? Okay.
sounds like the military is the ultimate cuddle party. No. Okay.
All right, okay.
The balls, cadet.
You know we got headphones on. We can hear it. Okay.
It's for the audience.
Not literally cakes. You. Sorry, Sergeant.
Handsome.
Sorry, Sergeant. I thought this was a cuddle party.
Again, why
my
does
God.
he make that his voice? Why is that your voice in that situation? You always do that.
So many times.
If I'm in the army, that's how I see myself.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So why am I confessing this? Because I feel like many people long for touch and closeness,
Yes.
but are too afraid to admit it. We live in a society where physical touch is often reserved for romantic or sexual contexts. But physical closeness is a basic human need.
Yeah, sure.
And that goes beyond that. I want to share my experience to show that alternatives exist, that it's okay to long for and seek out human connection. So yes, I cuddle with strangers and I stand by it. Maybe it's unusual, but for me, it's a gift I give myself. Who knows? Maybe some of you just need a good hug too.
Dang. Yeah, did you get it? That was deep. So I know this is the thing. I didn't know about like parties, but I know there are professional cuddlers.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
I've heard of that. Pay for those services. Yeah. Because you're right. People, they don't necessarily need the whole thing, but there's a lot to the cuddling. Like you said.
I have questions on this.
I know you do, but the endorphins and everything else. So, but I've seen it also as people just, I guess, it's because sometimes like while you're cuddling, it's the whole conversation. Everything's happening in that moment as well, not just sitting or laying in silence or whatever. But I could definitely see that growing because sometimes you just want that hug.
Yeah, no.
You know, you just want the touch, the hold.
So I went and got a haircut recently, and they shampooed. And she gave a nice scalp massage.
Oh, man.
Didn't pay extra. But I remember going one time getting my hair cut with my friend. We're both getting cuts. And the one person did my hair, and he noticed that the person doing mine really worked my scalp more than his. He was jealous of the scalp work I got. It's like she was really getting in there. Like he was like, she was massaging it and shit. I was like, this is nice. This is nice. And so normally when I get my hair cut, you don't got to worry about washing it because I'm going to go home and take a shower anyway.
Okay.
But on this occasion, I was like, yeah, let's go get that wash. Let's get that hands through my head. I needed that touch. You know what I mean? And it was good. It was decent. It was nice. Not the best I've had.
Did you have to pay extra for that wash?
Nah, it came included.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Or I've gotten massage, and I remember the massage. Can I touch you?
Yes.
In an innocent way.
It's just the hesitation in
I
their voice.
appreciate that you asked.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't normally, but just do what I want.
But given what we're talking about, I appreciate that
she's like massaging, but like she did a thing where like she ran her hands down along.
Oh yeah, like the tickle scratch.
And it was like that had nothing to do with the massage, but there's an actual word for the technique. And if you're a masseuse out there, let us know what there's an actual word for it. Because I told my friend about it. I was like, oh yeah, they call that this. And it's about. It's just it wasn't sexual, but I was like, oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice.
That's my favorite. Tickle scratch. That's what I call it. The tickle scratch where you do.
It's a French
on the
word.
Arms and
But I'm gonna find me a cuddle party tonight.
You know what?
Rave, I'm sure.
You
Get
know
that
what?
Molly going. There's gonna be lots of cuddle parties.
So, your opinion.
Cuddle party.
my opinion.
Because I know you got opinions on this.
Of course, I have opinions on it. So I'm
down.
actually like. I lightweight. I'm kind of curious about.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
We might have an experience.
But that's
I know she
because
likes
like
the good cuddles.
yes, I love cuddling.
Yep.
My love language is touch.
Okay.
And I'm being very particular about who I allow in my space right now. So my tank is mad fucking empty. It's on like negative E. Not even fumes to run off of anymore.
So you think this would be something you would be game to try?
I don't know, because I don't know. The stranger part is kind of what throws me off.
I would go in support of you.
You can't just walk. I like to watch.
It's not a.
I'm gonna
There's
try
a
to get.
difference between cuddle parties and
Look,
sex
I'm gonna
parties.
try to get the moderator gig. This person just walks around.
Too much.
Holster that.
Closer. Closer.
I do want to know the rules though.
Well, you got to go to one. Here's the question I have. You're a taller lady. And I was talking about like these professional cuddlers. I was like, okay.
Right.
Okay. Like, how tall you got to be? Because like, let's say,
tall?
He's worried about.
Can
being
I
the little
break
spoon.
in? Can I break into the professional cutler space, knowing that if I'm trying to spoon you, you're taller than me?
But like,
I mean,
you're
we're still
not
gonna
cuddling
be-
standing up.
It's true. It's true.
Everybody's the same height when you lay down.
There you go. All right. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like.
But don't you? I thought you liked being the little spoon though, regardless.
What? Talking about.
Oh no, I thought he liked being like nestled.
I don't remember hearing that.
Apparently his
Wasn't it on
fantasy.
this episode? I thought you mentioned that one time. You
Kick
were
the little
just like I want to be the little one.
No, I've just been it. No, actually, I think, I'd be curious about that. And I have heard of these before. I just forgot about it.
Yeah, I'd never heard of the parties. I've heard about the professional cuddlers, but not about the parties.
So we got to find out.
I thought that was interesting.
Find a cuddle party, huh? All
Well,
right.
there's a thing called ecstatic dance. Have you heard this?
No,
Ecstatic dance?
not
Ecstatic
not
dance?
exotic.
Ecstatic.
Dancing.
Ecstatic.
What did that mean?
Ecstatic.
Ecstatic. Like,
No,
like super
tell
excited?
us about it, Cakes.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh God, is that the thing that the white people do in the
Yes.
woods? Why did I randomly? That's the type of shit
Not
that I
just
send
in
to
the
my
woods,
brother.
at the yoga studio, and it's but
Yeah.
What makes
They're
it
like-
so special?
well,
Money.
no, at my meditation community, there's people who do it, and I thought, well, that's interesting because it's about letting loose,
Okay.
which you two could do a lot more of. I think you're so fucking wound tight. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like if you weren't so wound tight, you'd come to this fucking EDM concert.
Oh,
with me.
here we go. How did he bring that into it?
I got plans. No, you don't, bitch. I mean, watching Jamie Foxx on the TV eating popcorn. Those are your plans. But anyway, what's that? No. I was like, oh, that's interesting because I'm wound tight and I can't let loose in a certain sense.
Okay.
And so, like in ecstatic dance, it's not the same as the touch, but I think there's a similarity in you kind of have to let go a bit of your reservations, some of the boundaries you have, but also you can't just, people aren't going to come up and grind on you. Like say, no.
Yeah, it
a
was.
visual of, like, what is it like? Are they just?
You know what? I'll
flailing?
try to find the
Flailing.
video that
There's
I
a
sent to
lot
my
of
brother because
flailing.
we were laughing.
There's a lot of flailing, I think.
I can imagine.
A lot of flailing.
It sounds like an excuse for people that
making
can't
really
dance.
random noises. Like, yeah,
Well, I mean, that might be some. I don't know if they're on.
that's the one I saw.
But I feel like it's about letting loose. And so certain things,
Like
this
an
one's
energy
about
release?
the intimacy and the touch, while the other one's about just letting loose and being free.
Okay.
And yeah, it's hard to do.
The comments. Somebody said, "Old hippie here. We always called them cuddle puddles."
Oh.
And somebody else says, "Where do you find these?" Asking for a friend.
Google that shit. Bet we can find one right now.
Right.
Well,
I'm about to do
you have a source for at least your ecstatic dancing or whatever it was called.
I want to see if I can find that. It had to have been recent that I sent it to my brother.
Cuddle
when I
Party
saw it.
Seattle. And there's a whole website called Cuddle Party Seattle.
Is there really?
Yeah. So I'm on there right now. Let's find one. Cuddle Party Seattle. Cuddle Seattle it's called. You can do this.
Seattle.
It's not loading up. Seattle Cuddle Party. Hugs and Cuddles is another one. Happy Humanal, Snugs and Connections. Light Sleeper Date Night Done Right. That's different.
Sounded a little different.
Date Night Dinner for 6. I don't know where I got. Got comments? Any more?
No.